live on Facebook, oh everyone. I'm live on Facebook. See my families, generations. The baby of the families is there. Mudu Bola. G Mazu. Almost secondary school. Pẹ̀lú àwọn tèmi 5 ọ̀bọ. Oyin Lola. Prince Michael Project. Faith Boots. Prince Michael Project. Faith Boots.
Happy Sunday, everybody out there.
Jesus.
I hope somebody's in church right now. You've been to church or out of church, but still, what I want to do with you is this: carry the church along with you all through the week. Okay? Make sure the message reflects in your life. God bless you in the name of Jesus. Let me say big hi to my brother Samuel Toyi Ali. Okay. Love you loads, okay? God bless you. I love you, love your family, love your children. Okay, we miss you. You know, we enjoyed the time you spent with us in Nigeria and Montana. Lady Montana, how are you? God bless you. Tinola, Tinola Omotoyi, and the sisters out there. I say hello also to Faith. Okay, God bless you. I want to say hi also to Ebun and Lola and all the nieces and nephews too out there. Okay, Nathaniel, God bless you. Hope you're doing good with your sister. All right, God bless you, everybody.
Don't forget Deji Ali.
Okay, Deji, the footballer, right? He plays football. Yeah, I met him once. Looking so much like his father. Okay, yeah, I've met him. I met him once. Yes. When he was in Nigeria, he came to Akiode, my sister's place, and we had a talk and all that. You know, it looks so much like my brother Kayode. You know, and he's as handsome as my brother Kayode, but you know, he inherited the athleticism, skills, genes in our family. I inherited a very big, beautiful smile from her mother, Anifa. Okay, God bless you also. I wish you had taken the height in my family as well. Eh? That's a joke. Okay, nice day, everybody. God bless you all. Okay.
You've turned my broadcast into preaching. In Jesus' name. Where are we now? This is Oshodi. Oshodi did change. Oshodi has changed tremendously. Look at it. It's so beautiful. They've got Bosco Engineering. Bosco Engineering. Look, I swear that Oshodi has changed a lot. Look at the highway. Wow. This is beautiful. I'm impressed with Oshodi. I'm impressed with Ambode. Who originally initiated this idea anyway? Was it Fashola?
Well, I think Tinubu was actually the architect of the new Lagos.
I don't like Tinubu.
Well, that's your. It's not about whether we
that's
like
my own
anybody now. I'm just saying.
I don't like Tinubu.
You see, somehow some people get it wrong. The development of Lagos is not because Lagos was a federal capital city or state, but because the managers of the Western region planned so well that Lagos becomes the commercial capital of the whole Western region. the then planner or the leader, I think the best planner in Africa in history is Chief Obafemi Awolowo. He planned this, late Chief Obafemi Awolowo. He planned it so much that he made Lagos a commercial center. He made Ibadan, the political center of the Western region, and then the Ondo and Ekiti, when it comes to education, that is centered there. And you can see that they're reflecting up to date, and the Ekitis, the Ondos still have the highest number of professors in Nigeria. Lagos with the first industrial estate, in West Africa. He kind of made it possible for Lagos to continually grow commercially, and Tinubu has carried on that vision for Lagos State.
What's the population of Lagos?
It is expected to be about 18 million, but conservatively, let's say 15. Now, there are schools of thought who believe that it is like 22 million. It's a lot of, Lagos is pretty big. Okay, but the problem with Lagos is this. It's a metropolis with so many non-Lagosians in the non-Western Lagos. Okay, it's like New York. And then,
hold it and broadcast yourself.
Okay, so that's like a brief history of how Lagos became the commercial center of West Africa. It was planned so by Obafemi Awolowo, not because he was former capital state of Nigeria, but then the history is way back. It was a colony on its own, okay? It was a protectorate of the British Empire. And then a lot of people don't know that in Lagos, the decision to amalgamate Nigeria actually was taken in Lagos, in an island called Takwa Bay. I've done a reportage on that thing before on video. I think it's on YouTube with AYO, where all the Lord Lugars and the rest of them, their houses that are now ruins, because we Africans, we don't value things that would be regarded as patrimony of the world, So the place is in ruins now. So that's a brief history of Lagos. And Lagos has grown. In fact, there are areas of Lagos you will get to, like Lekki and the rest of them, that you would think you're in the suburb of a developed country. I really like the way Tinubu has built on the vision of Awolowo to continue that grandiose status that has developed to the Lagos mega city project. Fashola did great. I made great plans for Lagos, and Akinwumi personally, I think, is the first real embodiment of grandiose city, grand city. If you see what he did in Bega, in Shoji. Unfortunately, we passed that area. If you see it, these are edifices that can be compared to any developed society.
The image structure of Lagos that is shown to us by
the world press,
Western media.
Okay. Yeah.
Like bad city.
Okay.
Why is it so?
Well, you see, the first thing is Nigerians are the smartest in the world, scientifically and otherwise, outside the Jews. I must give that, to the Jews. They are very intelligent.
Why is it that the image that people about
project,
Lagos
yes,
is like Lagos is like a jungle?
Yes. Very well. If you just give me a second, I'll I'm having a build-up.
You're having a build-up.
Yes, to that. All right. So the thing is, Nigerians are very smart people, and the world, nobody likes competition. We would have been the solution to Africa's problem. But things started getting bad when we stood up for South Africa. Remember, we led a boycott of, I think, the Commonwealth Games of some year. I can't really remember very well. So since that time, the world has, you know, has been against Nigeria on purpose. We remember what happened when we wanted to build our Jakarta steel and compete with the Western world in making steel. We know what happened between England and Russia on that thing.
My question is not about Nigeria. My question is about
Lagos. Very well. So,
Lagos.
Yes.
To us,
yes.
Somewhere that you should be fearful.
It's not only Lagos. It's not only Lagos. Nigeria in general. They don't show you beautiful places.
I'm interested in
Lagos.
I'm in Lagos
Yes.
now.
Well, you see, Lagos is Nigeria. It's mini Nigeria. The vision of Lagos outside the world is what the whole Nigeria is enjoying. So good things come out of Lagos, and then they don't just say Lagos, they say Nigeria. Now, so going back to the little story I'm trying to send forth. So because Nigeria is beginning to be like a competition to the superpowers, and you know what happened to countries that try to liberate Africa? Because when you bring that picture of developed or developing society, you might begin to share a lot of authorities with the Western world, including markets. Okay, so I don't want to dwell so much into that. So now, coming to Lagos, if the world begins to present the good sides of Lagos, people might start having positive opinion about Lagos. And Lagos is a beautiful city. There's less crime here than in New York. That's the fact. You can check that out. But then, if they don't give that image, a lot of Nigerians.
The population of New York is way smaller than population of Lagos. So you can that doesn't make sense.
No, I understand what you're trying to say. Yeah, I understand what else. You see, crime does not depend on the population size or figure. All right?
I should have thought that the more people you have, the more...
No, it doesn't follow. It doesn't follow.
Expect.
It doesn't follow. There are very small cities, you know, with high crime rate. There are small cities, and even in Europe you have cities with very low crime rate. And in Europe you have, so it's about the structure. It's about the structure. So coming back to the point, the reason why we see
Nigerian media organization cannot change the image of Lagos that is being sent to people in the West. Why is it that Nigerian media are sleeping?
Okay, you see, the fact is that the fact is that we don't have the same media power. We don't have as you know, sorry to mention names if I should, like CNN, BBC. How many people would tune into Nigeria?
NTA broadcasting.
NTA doesn't exceed. To you Nigerians. To you Nigerians, right? Yeah. To us Nigerians.
But it should start with us.
It should start with us. That's a good.
Television.
Yes. Good. There is also an angle to the problems of Africa. Nepotism, tribalism, and all that. A little bit of tribalism is working against Nigeria, especially Lagos. I will tell you something.
So it's our fault. We can't blame the Westerns.
We can blame them in part.
Media.
Yes, we can blame them in part. Wow. They're also part of the system. Now, if you look at where tribalism and all this kind of thing is kind of working against us, there was a time that the growth of Lagos, structurally, was debarred by a regime that at the time that we wanted to have metro in Nigeria, in Lagos State, the then federal government stood against it. so much that the fine we paid on that metro line, for aborting the contract was more than what would have completed it. Now, if you think that was by chance, the education that the West, the Western region relies upon was cut short intentionally, so that every other the education that's our strength in the West here was on purpose, let me say disturbed. I don't want to use by powers that be. You understand? By powers that be. I'm just going to the reason why Lagos is a little bit suffering, why we are not growing. And just in case somebody doesn't believe me, if you look at our power supply, it will be clearer. Now, because
we are our own problem.
We are our own problem. If Lagos decides to have steady power supply, as they have tried, even like Port Harcourt, make more power stations for their own consumption. It will be. If you will give me a second, I will go to that.
I'm very concerned about my data.
Oh, okay, very well. So if Lagos makes more power stations now, it will have to first supply it to the national grid. Then the national grid will now send whatever they will to Lagos. So that way, and that is the way we have been working all over Nigeria. That's our principle, to make every part of this country grow at equal pace.
What do you think Lagos needs?
Well, Lagos...
I'm feeling sorry for my data.
Okay, I think Lagos needs to make a case that before Nigeria was amalgamated, it was governed by the British separately. We need to be able to stand on that ground so that Nigeria can let us grow. Nigeria must let us grow. The same thing goes for not only for Lagos, but for the whole Nigeria. For the whole Nigeria, the East are trying to also progress. Thank you. The East must progress. There's a guy making cars there. And it is, we are buying a lot of vehicles from abroad. And
car based in Lagos.
No, he's based in the East. From the East, he has an office here. Yeah, he has an office. He has a branch here. Now,
what does Lagos need?
Lagos need a kind of socio-political independence. No, I'm not talking about seceding. There are two different things. And it's like America. Nigeria indeed needs to work on a system that makes America work. Every state should develop at its own pace, the way we were when we were regions. And that was why we were ahead of many nations. When I wanted to do masters in Brazil, there was a man that studied at Ibadan. Can you imagine that? Now, who will come to Nigeria to study anything? I know some white people come to study Yoruba because, of course, this is the home of that language. But we need to go to that time that we were competing amongst ourselves and we are setting pace for Africa. There was a time that the graduates in Nigeria, in Western Nigeria, was like almost more than the whole graduates, or about half of graduates of the sub-Saharan Africa. So much that we were sending experts to Nigeria, to other countries. There were times that we were Nigerians were the chief justices of other countries, training their law, their legal system to make this work better. So those things can never be achieved unless we go back to that system. The North can feed the whole sub-Saharan Africa. If we allow everybody to go, they are good at agriculture.
In brevity,
yes.
What does Lagos need? In brevity.
Okay.
On the line, double on the line, say.
Okay. If I will be brief about that, I will say Lagos need socio-political and economic independence to be able to determine what he wants, the kind of life he would like to give to his citizens. Okay. And of course, when you say citizens of Lagos, there are many people, non-Yorubas, non-Lagosians born in Lagos or who have lived so much in Lagos. Yeah.
With someone
Okay.
about the indigenous of Lagos.
Yeah.
She said, and she was furious when I said Lagos is multicultural and belongs to every Nigerian. She said that's a lie. Lagos belongs to Yoruba. True or false?
Okay. Lagos is in the western part of Nigeria, which is predominantly Yoruba. But then, yes, if you want to look at the history proper, Lagos also has some link to the Benin people. Yes, Lagos has some links to the Benin people as well. And then, but who are those Benin people? They were also Yorubas. Please don't jump into conclusions now. When there was trouble in Benin, when the then Oduduwa, let's call it Oduduwa, sent his son to be king over Benin, and he sent the strength of Yorubas, the army of Yorubas, with him to quell the troubles in the then Edo, before it was given Benin or Ile Ibinu. Okay, so when that's the meaning of Benin. So when that king conquered them, okay, the strength of Yoruba diminished because the strongest soldiers were sent there, okay, and most of them were Ekiti people, of course, Ekiti Jesha people. And then, so those people became stronger than the place they came from, the Yoruba kingdom. So then, it got to a time that Benin Empire became so strong that it came back to Lagos and conquered Lagos. So now, who are those Benin people? Those Benin people are also Yoruba people who went to defend the king, to install him, and when his hand got hold of that kingdom, he said, Awomika. That's why you have Eweka Road in Benin. The same extension, Iweka Road in Onitsha. So those Yoruba powers, some of them spread to the people where you call what do they call them now? The people of Orishaja, 4 people, I can't remember their name now. Okay, and you can check their lineage. That's in the south. Okay, wherever you have these Obas, wherever you have this Olu, either Olu of Wari, all those people, Obale, they are the descendants of Yoruba people who left with the Oba then. Of course, that also comes to our own part, because even Ekiti people, especially not Ekiti, all Ekiti, but the people of Ado Ekiti also, the Ewi then also was part of people who went to Benin. The Ewi was also the younger brother of.
Let's change it up.
Okay.
I love Ambode.
Okay.
And it's sad to see him going.
Okay.
Right. But what has it done for Lagos?
It brought a mega dimension to the growth of Lagos. Tinubu laid a solid foundation. Fashola built on it. But if you have seen the works of Ambode, they are grandeur in status. Okay, if you look at, just go to Bega, look at what he did there. All right, come to this Oshodi, to mention but a few. You can see he would have been the best. How would I call it? A minister of infrastructure, whatever, in Nigeria. You see, but people are now usually chosen for where their talent lies in Nigeria. They are chosen because some president thinks, he's my person, he's loyal to me, and all that, you know. So this why. Otherwise, somebody like if I were in control or have a say in Nigeria, I would rather suggest Innocent, that Igbo guy that makes car, should be the next Minister of Defense in Nigeria. If you can make a vehicle move, you can make boats, you can make jets for planes. So this guy could have been building our armored cars, our planes, at least building a foundation for it.
But
you know,
that the only legacy he's going to leave?
That who is going to leave? Ambode. I think that's about that. But also we can see that it's one of those people that decide not to, you know, spend lavishly. He is one that doesn't spend lavishly. It's one of the reasons why the system hates him. Now, I would like to quickly separate that from politics. You see, politics also is a game, and every game is about money. However you want to see it, every game is about money. You make, you lose, you sustain, you protect, you understand? Because if you don't, in politics now, if you do not finance those who sustain politics, you cannot have money to continue it. And I would like to mention a case of somebody that talks about such.
In 1 minute, we need to close the broadcast.
Very well. There was a mayor of Sao Paulo called Peter. You know, Peter, yes, Celso Peter. And then his godfather, Paulo Maluf, told him that you need to get some money apart for after, you know, tenure. Because when you leave, there'll be, you know, attacks on you. You need money to defend it. And of course, by extension, you need money to also invest in people in their parties.
Thank you very much.
All right, so it's a game. It's a game. You know, the authority would like their strong men to have money to prosecute other elections, because it is from such monies that even Ambode was installed. So that is the politics in the game. He's a smart, good guy, but he hasn't learned the politics in the game. So I'm rounding up. My name is Michael Ali. You can also call me Prince Michael Project. Okay, I would have been a good politician, but God told me never to go into politics. I have to obey him. God bless you. Happy Sunday one more time. Ciao, ciao to the mundo. Au revoir. Yeah, there you go.
Jesus Christ. Thank God it's Sunday. Yes. I hope you've learned from the broadcast. Leave your comments. Don't just watch. Okay, there are comments here. Oh dear, I'm not wearing my glasses. I can't read everything. I'm not wearing my reading glasses, so sorry about that. I will look at it at a later stage and get back to you all. Thank you so much for your time. This is Lagos. This is Nigeria. Let's build Lagos together. Okay?
Let's build Nigeria. Let's build Africa.
Let's build Nigeria. He said.
Have princes,
let's bring
kings, queens.
I say, let's build the world. Understand? Thank you very much all. Bye bye.